I'm Bobby here, and let's queer up the worldview. Ontario's school pride flag stolen after flagpole cut down in second vandalism incident in 1 week. Community members in Norwich, Ontario, Canada are expressing concern after a pride flag at Emily Stowe High School was targeted for the second time in just 1 week. According to reports, two unidentified suspects cut down the school's metal flagpole Saturday night and stole the pride flag that has been flying from it. The incident follows an earlier act of vandalism earlier this month when a pride flag at the school was removed and set on fire. Thames Valley District School Board said in a statement to parents, quote, "The pride flag is a visible reminder that the 2S LGBTQIA+ identities are affirmed and that belonging matters. There is no place for hatred and discrimination in our school community." Police have identified the suspects as two thin white males believed to be in their late teens or early 20s. Residents say pride-related vandalism has become a recurring problem. Norwich resident Jeff told CTV News, quote, "It's every year, and it escalates every year. It gets worse," end quote. Norwich reportedly experienced 4 pride flag theft or vandalism incidents last year, with similar cases also reported in 2022 and 2023. Now, if this is a TikTok, I would have inserted that graphic of Tyra Banks saying, "We're rooting for you," because Canada, what the hell? Canada, the place where, we got queer hockey drama and, when everyone's friendly and everyone says sorry, we need to do better. Oh, you need to do better. Sorry. I know we're based out of Florida and, it's like pot calling the kettle black or throwing stones in the glass houses. But I hope that we can do better for the community in Ontario. And this is also essentially terrorizing the LGBTQ student body inside that school. Absolutely. Saying that basically saying that you don't belong. We're going to destroy your identity. We're going to make sure that you are not represented or visible. And by the way, the 2S stands for Two Spirits, which is a very Canadian designation. I do not know a lot about it, so I'm not going to say too much about it. But Larry, what do you think of this vandalism stuff?
Well, it's a shame that they can't catch the two suspects. It must have been. Probably. We'll assume that there's footage, but it's a shame. I agree with you. I think of Canada being a little more progressive when it comes to LGBT community, and certainly two-spirited people, which I applaud them, including that. Certainly, I think there's more of a recognition and reparation in terms of honoring, Indigenous peoples of the Canadas versus what we did in our own country, which I grapple with at times myself.
There's a pretty ugly history with Indigenous people in Canada too. They call them First Nations, but yes.
And you can look at the parallels, where. A force that came up and colonized, and we could go on and on about that subject, but our thoughts go out to the students at that school. Hopefully the school can right and correct the flagpole and remediate better security in the future so that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? We as these people are asking for more security, but more security does not equal safer. It just means, in now dystopian times, it just means more surveillance, more people who need to be vigilant. It shouldn't be that way. We should be a community that trusts other people in the community.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I was raised that you wouldn't even dream of doing that when but we're in a different time now.
Yeah. That's true. And well, on that unfortunate note, there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.